Can you believe that TikTok actually has up to 1 hour you can post videos? Now, what you can do is record up to 10 minutes, but you can add videos up to 60 minutes. People don't utilize, they don't understand the value of social media. I've been on social media for so long that I remember when all we could put was 3-minute videos, and now we're up to 1 hour video. I feel like TikTok has been listening to me, and like they want to see more of me. And it sucks that like when they were like seeing like the beginning of me was they were watching my struggles. But I think watching someone's struggles is what helps you understand the person better. It helps you be more patient and makes you make real decisions on whether you want to move forward with that person, if you want to move forward with that person. Like, I hate when people put on a front and when people put on a fake, and then it leaves you guessing who they are. They're too quiet. They're too shy. There is nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be shy about. This is like normal life, everything. Like, this is my chiropractor, Chris, who was literally helping me out. Chris was like the super handsome, okay, babe, I'm sorry. But Chris was like this, he was actually like pretty, like really handsome. And they told me that he could not be my chiropractor anymore. These Spanish girls at Wesley Health Centers, they literally told me, like, because he was doing my back so well. Chris was professional, and he's just like this really cool white guy. He was like, okay, he was like flirting, of course, but he wasn't like at the point where it was even like wrong. You get what I mean? That's why I love the way white people work. Not all of them are that good, but very few I've met that I'm annoyed by if they're not influenced by other people. You know what I mean? In other races, other communities that are just not professional. Like, I go to Santa Monica, and I go inside this one food store, and it's so quiet, and it's like all Caucasian people. You see one or two or three Spanish, and I hate to put color, but I don't know their names. And I just want to see, I just like how the coordination and the vibe is, and how peaceful everything feels. And it's just like, I'm like, I want to build a community for the black people or brown people where they can get in coordination and learn how to be calm. But that's going to take, our bodies are different. That's going to take us literally stretching. What I've noticed about the black community is that they do a lot more working out. Like, what I notice in my body is sometimes I can't stop dancing because it feels so good, but my body is tense. And I'm like, I'm filled with this energy, and I don't want to be like I'm this machine, because I rebuke the even word machine, like the hell that I just went through. I'm just like, oh my God. But I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, like I'm like a dancing queen. I want to dance, but my body is telling me like, yo, you need to stretch. But I'm addicted to both. And so when I finally stop, because the tension starts building up, and I'm like, okay, it's time to stop stretching. To stop dancing. When I finally stop and relax, I'm like, thank God. I just want to stay calm so I could be even more flexible than a ballerina. Like, Haley's leg broke. Haley, Justin Bieber's wife or whatever, or ex-wife or whatever. Ex-wife, I guess. But Haley Bieber's leg broke when she was a ballerina. I'm done with Justin Bieber. I'm not dating Justin Bieber anymore. I'm not, even if I got his name tattooed, it's good for him to know that someone like me loved him. And I hope he can come on this side of town, and live over here in this building instead of living in Hollywood. Like, I am not going, not Hollywood, Beverly Hills. I am not going anywhere like in Beverly Hills. I don't care how rich. Like, I just don't trust those people. I've been living in Koreatown almost just about all my life. I moved to Houston when I moved here from Houston when I was 16 years old, and I was living at the Kipling Hotel apartment complex on 3rd Street in Kingsley, and we would go to the 7-Eleven there all the time, and we would go to like Hollywood all the time and dance on the street and things like that. And I can't believe this building has been here the whole time. Maybe it wasn't here that whole time, but now that it's here, I'm like, oh my God. My ex, I call her my ex-birth mother, she lives on Normandy and Wilshire, and I lived there for some time, and it was so unpeaceful at her house, where it was just like my ex-brother, literally choked me. And she goes, oh, whenever I speak wisdom to her, she's like, oh, you and your wisdom. You think you're gonna win me? You think you can win me? It was so scary, y'all. Like, I was hearing voices so loud in my head. It was World War III for me. I rebuke it in the name of the Lord Jesus. But it was like I was hearing voices, and it was like my body was closing. It felt like I had pipes down my throat, like metal pipes. It was like, what the fuck is this? I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. It would never happen again. But I was like, oh my God, this is hell. And I don't want to even repeat it. I don't want to remember it. But God got me out of that. And I'm in that house, and there's roaches everywhere. I'm sleeping on the floor with roaches everywhere. I'm sitting there like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. Is this even real? Like, I wanted to die. Like, literally, like, the spirits were like, there was angels and spirits and Steve Jobs and Paul Walker, God, Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ, my whole body is like going in this like a whipper. And it's, oh my God, let me not even think about it. And it was so loud. And it was like racks on racks on racks on racks on racks on my back, like racks on my back. It was like racks, like money, racks, gold. It was like literally a big brick was put in my fucking, I rebuke it. Like, when you, like, that kind of money is like dangerous. Like, you know, for me, I was just like, oh my God. And that's when I had a vision that I was moving into Radius. I didn't think I was going to move into Radius because I was all the way in another, like, part of California where there's mountains where you can even lose your hearing. And they kicked me out. There was a man that came inside. I think I told Tony that. There was a man that came inside of the apartment that literally was like trying to have sex with my roommate. And I'm like, why is this man in this room? You know, there are a lot of the people in those shelters are like felons or whatever. And I was like, why is this man in my room? And so I went and told on them, and I think that's why they threw me out, because they were like, oh shit, now these people know that she's a snitch. And it's not that I'm a snitch, it's just that those were the rules. Like, you can't have, there's a reason why guys can't come in the room. There was an old woman in wheelchairs, you know, especially if the men are like probably pedophiles or thieves or whatever, you know, there's a boys section, you know. And there was a transgender in the room, and the transgender is like going off on the women. And I went off on him, and I said, so why are you in this room? So you came in this women's room to talk about women and how weak they are? You're just another abusive guy. Why don't you go to the men's side and talk that shit? And I kept telling him, it was a real tall white guy. And I was like, why aren't you going? He was like, shut up. And then I was like, no, you shut the fuck up. And I was like going off on him. I was like, you're not going to come in here and oppress the weak and talk about these women in here, talking about some fucking shampoo. You got me fucked up. And I was like, go to the men's section and boss up on them. Then you have some real fucking balls. And I was like, you don't got no fucking balls. Like, you know, I was like, I'm the fucking man in here. Oh my God, I be going off. I don't mean like I'm the man. I don't talk like that to guys. I talk like that to bullies. And I don't know where that comes from. Sometimes it just comes from like it feels like God is pushing me to just like talk. Like, I don't want to be that way. I almost got beat up by a guy in Santa Monica, a white guy in Santa Monica, because I was talking shit. I wasn't really talking shit, but I was talking like, because there were some guys that were telling other guys to suck their dick and suck their dick and this. And I was like, why don't you go suck your own fucking dick? Why don't you, you know, you always telling somebody to suck your dick. Why don't you suck your own dick and see what it feels like? Oh my God, I almost got beat up in front of the Apple store. Oh, God is so good I didn't get beat up. But sometimes when God pushes you to talk, you have to. When it's time to fight, you got to fight. When it's time to defend the weak, you got to defend the weak. And I'm just like, oh my God, Lord, please get me ready. Get me ready, and just don't let me make this kind of... Like, there are people that literally suffer with their mental health out there. Like, I was suffering with my mental health. One time I was at the beach in Venice Beach, and this white guy started massaging my back. he was helping me out. White guys have always been really sweet, and that's why I always hung around them. And when he started massaging my back, all of a sudden this black guy, he was like the hood, like the big bully in the hood, like the dealer. He said, what the fuck is this? He kicked all my representation down. He kicked my shit he broke my everything. And the white guy was like, what's your problem? And I was like, hey, I told him, I was like, hey, just be quiet. I think it's going to be better if you be quiet, because it's not like I got hands for him or anything like that, and obviously you don't either. So I think it's better to just be quiet, because he was a man and he felt like he had to say something. And I was like, sometimes just because you're a man doesn't mean you always have to say something. You have to observe the person's body and know you're ready. Like, don't let a woman make you think that just because she's around, you have to stand up. Well, yeah, like, it's good to stand up or whatever. It's good, because there's this white guy that literally he was like in Houston, Texas, named John, an older guy. He had paranoid schizophrenia, and this black guy thought he was gonna beat me up because I didn't want to I started talking to white guys. There's a lot of racism in the black community towards the white people, and I was like, oh my God. And I was always walking around in some sexy clothes, because I was hustling. Shit, they got in Houston, they got white guys that love black women, and I'm not gonna walk around like I'm a hustler. I'm not gonna be homeless, walking around in dirty clothes, walking around clothed. I was wearing lingerie, dressing sexy outside, and guess what? A bunch of like beautiful black women came out with Victoria's Secret clothes, food. That's because like they don't know how to hustle. I saw solutions when I was walking around in my bathing suit downtown Houston, Texas. They said, wow, you're the only one walking around in your bathing suit. Is there a pool around here? Like, there was a pool down around there, but it wasn't like noticeable. And they were serving vegan food outside. And it was this one really cool, he was kind of had an attitude, but gay guy. And they were serving food in the rain. Houston got hard, man. I used to be there. They got a lot of white boys that that run away from home and they don't have nowhere to go. So, they're like, hey, let's go stay at their warehouse. They have a specific warehouse. And I was like, all right, because I didn't know how to really be homeless. Like, I've been homeless, but I've been in a shelter. And so they taught me how to be homeless. And this one blonde guy, he was like, I think like 20 something. I think I was like 25, 20, probably 28, 25 or 26 or 28. And he was so sweet. He gave me his last coins. Like, he would like not last. Yeah, like it's like he was like, I'm gonna take you to Taco Bell with this. I was like, this is so sweet. When I was in the black community, they couldn't even do. They would come and then we would meet on MySpace, say let's go on a date, and they would see me and drive off, leave me there. That's what black guys do, and I wonder why. I'm like, you think I trust you? You think I trust myself in a car with you? There were some of them. There were very few back when I was like naive, younger. I would just hop in a car with some black guys in Houston, and they would take me home and bring me back. But they lived in my apartment complex, so I knew they lived there. But even there were times where I got in cars with strangers and things were okay. Black strangers when things were okay. So it depends on what neighborhood, what kind of guy they are. But it's very few good ones. So don't ever get in the car with anybody, no matter the race, but especially that community, because it's broken. Not saying it's bad, but it's broken. So that makes it bad, actually. And so I'm just warning you guys to be very, very careful. I saw them do something to some white boys like Justin Bieber. And it's a repetitive thing I've seen in the hood, not just on TV. And they run up to me like in South Beach, and this white boy runs up to me and just like lays right on top of me, and he was like, said something like, where have you been? Where are you? Please come with me. And I was like, no, I'm not going with you. How old are you anyway? Like, I don't know. He was like probably 20 something or 20 years old, and he was high, but they go for drugs and they tell him to suck their dicks and all this kind of shit. And because the drugs are actually good. I'm telling you, the drugs, I've tried the cocaine. I don't do drugs, but it makes, because of that beast inside of their bodies. There's something happening to people's bodies, making them desperate, and the medication in the hospital is not working. They gave me medication like purposely trying to kill me. Like it felt like purpose. It was purpose, because I told the lady to literally give me Abilify and guys, don't use this against me, to give me the two medications, which was Abilify and Risperdal. And I told her, give it to me. They worked well together. So she was like, I'm going to only release you if you stop taking one. What? But I've been taking the medication. I've been taking it both the whole time I'm in the hospital. Now that you want, I'm going to sue the shit out of Bellevue Hospital. I wish I could remember that doctor. It was another Spanish woman. I don't trust them like that. These ones are nice. These ones are Wesley Health Centers. They do my Vivitrol injection. They're nice. But if I go anywhere and I don't see white people, I don't trust them. If I see a bunch of black people, I'm not going. I don't know what the fuck they're planning to do. And so this one has a pretty good, decent group of Spanish people. But my caseworker, Kaya, quit and got promoted after she helped me out. God blessed her to get out. But how do we know that that's the truth? How do we know they didn't push her out? Because she was actually good. Because I kept telling her, yo, you killing it up in here. And I go in there and they don't even know what to do. Like, I'm like, Uber, they say, call me. And then I call them and nobody answers. And I said, so why did you fire Kaya? And people are out there really confused without an in-home care provider. And then you look at rich people, and then you look at Justin Bieber, who takes $500 from a poor woman like me. You guys don't think it's Justin Bieber? It's fucking Justin Bieber. And I'm looking at him like, you want me to marry you? You want me to give my life to you? Hell no. I don't care how much fucking money you have. I don't care how you don't show me that you're gonna take care of me. Why would I be with you? You're going to try to kill me. You're going to use manipulation. You're going to probably take my food away from me. You're going to probably kick me out do the same shit that he did with you. That they did to him. He's going to look at me and remember those men that raped him in the industry. I can't be with a guy like that. You have to heal. I can help you get better. I can support him emotionally. I don't want to abandon him. I don't believe in that, because I feel like he does love and care about me and he does love me a lot. But you cannot be emotionally involved with a mental patient. And I'm not saying he's a mental patient, but he does struggle with his mental health, because his mental health was fucked with from his youth. And he has trust issues. And you can't get married to someone you just met with trust issues. You're going to snap. You're going to trip out. I've done it before, especially if you've done drugs. The drugs are going to come and go out of your body, and they're going to flow. You need a cleansing. That's what I'm saying. Justin, dear, not babe, but Justin, dear. I don't want to say dear, because me and my boo, we had a lot of fun about today. But, damn, is it Henry? I forget his name. I'm sorry. So, I forgot what I was saying. Completely ran out of train of thought. If you come here, it'll be calm, quiet, and safe. A big mansion like Justin Bieber's mansion looks dangerous. If you ever marry a celebrity or want to be with a celebrity, start small. Don't just dive into the relationship and be stuck in a fucking trap house. That's what Hollywood is, a trap house. And they make it look good. But really, they're crying out for help because they're stuck in contracts where they have to keep working. It's the saddest thing. So I say, pray for Hollywood. I rebuke the devil. I don't run. I don't laugh at them, because that could have easily been me. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be this. But that's why I feel like, Justin was and is like one of my mirrors. I think I have another mirror here because I feel so connected to this person. But I don't want to talk about Justin and he's like, I don't want to share you. I feel like he can hear me like, well, you're not sharing me. You belong to Haley right now. But I don't want to say that to him. You can't say that to him. It's going to break his heart. So me and my boo are going to have to just like work it out because I don't want him to feel alone. Justin needs someone right now. Someone like me. Someone like us. Right? And I feel like Chris Brown needs someone like us as well. And I feel like Chris Brown felt so alone. So alone, especially in this song. Please don't judge me and I won't judge you, because it get ugly before it gets beautiful. Like, he's just being honest about his feelings. Chris Brown is not a bad guy. You have to be able to see the best in people in order to help them. Sometimes you have to be careful, because if you keep digging for the best and they keep doing the worst, you might not come out alive. And that's what Rihanna was saying. Who's to say these girls won't make it? Some of these girls die in these relationships trying to help these guys. You feel sympathetic for the guy and you don't want him to be alone. And that's what soulmate is about, right? That's what twin, that's why I feel like, the guy that's here, I don't know much information about him, but I feel like I do know. But I don't know, but I want to know more. And the person that died here is just like, wow, he just died in 2023. Like, that was last year. Imagine how broken the family is. And this guy is a great guy. If you come to Radius and you see the way this building, it's as if it was made just for me. The way the wall, I was telling Tony everything. Like, you can't present this to a rich woman. They would despise it. It has to be doesn't have to be for a specific poor girl that understands luxury, but at the same time knows how to appreciate the details in everything. I mean, the speakers, it's almost like don't bring nothing. I have to be careful how I spin my head. I mean, the way they did the wall, the way they did the walling. I mean, the code to get inside. This is specifically great for people with disabilities. They don't have to think about their keys. Place is racks, like, is money, and I want it to get better. Like, and that starts by building the right team, having a trustworthy team, and allowing people to make mistakes, not too many mistakes. Of course, you don't want people to but understanding the struggles that people are coming from, before signing that contract. I mean, I've already signed a lease, but, at least I know, like, I didn't know what to expect. Like, but meeting Tony, she made me feel like she's my person. Like, yo, this person was made for me. Like, she was made, like, I'm being accepted in a place like this. So unbelievable. And for me to come in here and the residents laugh, and not laugh, but complain about someone enjoying a man's hard work, a man that died for this place, is unbelievable. He worked hard and then died, probably hoping for me to see this place. And, of course, he's alive in spirit, but I can't say too much about that, because then I start feeling like I'm losing my breath or something. But, like, these amenities are made for people like me. Like the spa, oh my God, it feels so good. I haven't enjoyed a spa in so long. I was paying $300 at Equinox, and they kicked me out because of my stroller. I was good. That's why when you see me dance, I'm like, screw this. Because when I'm good, then I'm bad. And then when I'm quote unquote bad, I'm still bad. And it's like they just bullying me, bullying people. And I say, hey, you know, there's laws against this. Did you guys forget about the law? People have human rights and no discrimination against color. Some people don't even have to say by the color of your skin. They automatically notice a black person. They're like, this person gotta go. They don't like the way he looks. Like a thief is hanging around the corner. I never hung out Koreatown. Why would I? Koreatown is like, smells like piss. Like, no offense to like the area here where the dogs are. This is the nicest part of Koreatown. Radius and Equinox. But Radius is the cleanest. Like, the whole entire, like, the only thing I see different is that air. Like, we can do something different about, we can deodorize that area where the dogs piss and just hire someone to, like, I don't mind doing it at all. I just got to get better because I used to clean even worse stuff. I just, once my body gets better, like someone that lives in and works here is a perfect situation because you don't have to waste no time driving, getting in traffic. You just wake up and go downstairs. I'm going to get a security uniform just to wear it, and just be downstairs, so just to kind of like prepare myself mentally, like, oh my God, work, like, even if I'm like limping half of the time, but I rebuke that I'm not limping, but it just gives you that mind, like, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. And people don't know the fight people are going through in their own apartment. And for them to just have an attitude only tells you that something is going on with their body eternally. And you can tell when Karen, from looking at her, she's aggravated when she looks at me, even if she wants very much to be strong and be sweet. Like, I mean, Jenny is sweet. Jenny is nice. She's nice. But, you can tell when she's trying to have authority, like after I gave Joseph a thank you letter, I wrote him a long letter. I said, thank you, Joseph, thank you guys for being patient with me. I'm getting better. I'm not dancing at the pool anymore. Joseph was so nice. He was like, you're welcome, Sandra. Anytime you need help. I love that he wasn't like, you know what, trying to play the parent. Next thing I knew, like the next day, what's her name? Jenny sends me the stamps this note on my door. You have 30 days to behave. I was like, what? I said, and then accusing me of prostitution. And I said, when did I have the one person that I had in this apartment was Jeffrey. That was my sugar daddy. That's the only guy that I had in my apartment. And yes, we had sex in here, but I had no choice. Jeffrey saved my life. When nobody was paying me a dime, Jeffrey is a felon. And he's not someone that I would date, but he was an older guy that was nice enough to pay. He kept his word. He bought me food, and he didn't ask for sex right away. He said, I want to wait till you get inside or get in a nice bed. I was like, oh my God, let's just get it over with. Like, I was like, let's just hit the corner, like the restroom or something, and I would charge him like $200, every time we have sex. But I told him, actually, you can give me $5. This was me and Jeffrey met in Santa Monica. So we were already together before we were here. But I was like, we made a deal. I said, we signed an agreement that he would be my sugar daddy and he would pay me $500 because I know, you've seen him. Hold on. There was another guy, I'll tell you about him. But he would pay me $500 a month to be his companion. And I was like, deal. Shit. I was getting, the 1,000 and then the 500, the 1,000 and the, what is it? 1,400 and then the 500 from him. And that was good enough for me. Right. But he would still buy me stuff. But Jeffrey's a unique black guy. He would pay up. No questions asked, no begging. Black guys usually make you beg. They usually like, suck my dick. Like I remember I was in Houston. This young boy came up to me and I was on the floor stretching and he said, hey, here's $5. I thought he was just giving me a free $5 bill, for food. Nah, he was like, suck my dick. I was like, are you serious? I was like, no, I'm not gonna suck your dick. Suck your own fucking dick, bitch. And then he sort of looked like it was gonna go off, but then he walked away. I'm like, is that all you guys know is sex? My baby daddy, when I went to his house before we had my daughter, him and all his boys were just in the room and they turned on porn. And they just started jacking off, like just watching porn right there. Not jacking off, but watching porn. We were 17 years old. I wasn't even paying attention to the porn. I said, so what is this? We came here to watch porn? I don't watch porn. I don't like porn. I never liked porn. I tried. There's some porn that I like, but there is a way guys masturbate with women's vaginas that looks like it's violating, like it's not doing her body right. I'm like, no, that's not how you do it. Because I know how to work my vagina. I know the power of my pussy, so I can't have anybody playing with it. And God knows not everybody can play with that shit. And, only one black guy did it right, and he was mixed with white. And I was like, whoa, what a doctor. This was in New York. And no offense, I'm sorry. But he did his job, like something inside of him, like it was a calling, like, hey, I need to work on your body right now. I think guys can sense when you're in heat. Because my body's always in heat, where like even if I don't feel like having sex, I always feel this heat, and I think people sense it. I don't know, but maybe not. But yeah. So that right there is something that I was like, wow, I needed that. It's so embarrassing, right? But you're human. People don't talk about their sexuality. And so other people would touch their bodies and the wrong way and violate them from childhood. And it makes things horrible. But Justin Bieber got raped because it was a power struggle. He was in a position of power, and he had his anal and his dick had to be penetrated. Like his anal had to be stretched out, because he was in a position where if he got the key to this car, right? This universe, and a lot of people don't know who he was in his past life. The God says he was Cain in his past life, and I'll tell you guys more stories about that a little bit later. But when you're in that position of power, that's why they rape kids. It's wrong, but they don't know what else to do. There is a reason why it's happening. Justin Bieber even said it. It doesn't mean it's supposed to happen, but rape happens for a reason, especially when you're a celebrity. We don't have as much pressure, but celebrities have so much pressure that they start them off as children, and they touch them as children. And then they're like violated. They don't know what happened. And that's what I felt, the violation. I felt like a machine was violating my body, and I felt like I was Elon Musk fighting that machine. Like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? Mother Earth, I come from the planet. Mother Earth is Indian, but these people are from the earth, and we're here not to be racist, but to do educational systems so that when people are educated, they don't become violent. They don't become disruptive. They learn how to get in order. When Beyonce says, prove to me you got some coordination, there is more than just saying that. You have to put programs. You have to assume the position of building programs to create for them to have coordination. Black people have a much harder, it's like they have a learning disability because they were abused. Black people were abused by the white community for a very long time, because you know why white people beat on blacks? First of all, blacks in Africa were beating on blacks. Another thing is hitting on someone was the only way you can get them to straighten up, because black people didn't speak English. They didn't have a language. They would speak it like, and so this annoyed the white man, because I bought these people here. I can't even communicate to them. So they treated them like animals, like horses, like move, go. And you have to yell because they're slow. They don't know English. And you say, why did you guys do this? They didn't know English. They didn't know how to speak. Remember, the people here were African. They were African. They came fresh off the slave ships. And they were being killed by blood diamonds. The white people saved you from blood diamonds, from worse Africans. It doesn't mean you hate African people. It just means African people did you a favor by selling you to the white man. Because the white people started getting worse because they started seeing themselves working for, they saw it as if they were working for the white guy, and the white guy was working harder and getting burned in the sun for America. You know, America didn't belong to white people at first. It belonged to Indians. They had to fight the Indians in the sun. That's why I said, you know, they wore those hats. It wasn't like really white supremacists, because if they were white supremacists, they wouldn't even look at Africa. Like deep down, they were not like, they didn't hate white people, black people. White people were not racist at first. The ones that came to buy black people, they were not racist. They saw the value in a black person. That's why they were like, let's spend our money on this. They didn't go to Spanish. They didn't go to Indian. They didn't go to China. They say, we need you. So they bought the blacks, but then they didn't realize they had to teach them. And if they taught them everything they knew, they would take the only country they had fought for, that they had, away from them. So they told them, stop reading books. Don't read this shit. Don't read this. Don't read that. And of course, they were frustrated because they had to tell you things more than once. And they too were under pressure. Racism began when they realized that in order not to give in to you, they had to turn completely away from you and just say they didn't like you at all. And that developed a hate. And that hate didn't come from hating your color. Maybe it did, of course, because it came from jealousy, envy, the fact that you couldn't do much. But black people can't do much because you see how they get muscles fast? Their body, it was like my body was about to close into this Zoom machine. That was Elon Musk. Elon Musk I feel like he didn't build, maybe he did build the robots to send it to the black community because he didn't know what, or the white, the black people and stuff, because he wanted to install fear in their heart, especially the way they violated Justin Bieber. In order to rule this country, you have to have heavy authority. Because looking at Trump got a whole army, but without his army, he's weak. Even if he's strong, he's weak. He can't fight like physically. So if somebody was to attack him and all the soldiers were dead, he would be just as dead as they are. That's why I tell Trump, hey, you got to eat healthy. You got to start stretching. You got to start getting better. You can't expect your soldiers to do all the work for you because somebody could sneak behind your desk. The enemy could be in your own house. Are you ready to get in the gun range and really shoot? Because as a president, you're not just a president, you're a soldier too. So you got to put your soldier uniform on, your regular uniform, but you can't walk around just, gunless. You feel me? The queen got to have a pistol somewhere when she's ready. But that's how that works. And it's like, we can either be mad at Trump for his mistakes or we can forgive him and move forward. Because you're going to hear people say negative things about Trump just to cause you to fight against the president, when I believe that's illegal, right? Because when they were talking about Trump, I was like, nah. I was like, at the end of the day, I saw the bigger picture. Trump was there. I wasn't listening. I closed my ears. It's not that I didn't want to hear. I was like, at the end of the day, Trump is the only one we fucking got. Could you think Kamala Harris she's gonna let all the fucking prisoners out? That's what Black Lives Matter did. And what I like about Trump is he was paying attention. That's a real man. And I could only wonder, maybe I'm wrong, but I can only wonder, when did Trump have time to even molest a kid? You think people have time? And maybe he did, but like, maybe he did do it, but I don't think he did it to try to be sexually, to show them sexual favors. He did it because it was a power struggle, right? To open their hole. Your hole has to be open. That's what my body was telling me. My hole was closing. My anal was closing and my mouth was closing. I had to put a dildo in my mouth to keep it open. And black people are like, what the fuck are you doing? They don't know what the fuck is going on. That's why I don't hang with black people. They laugh and joke around. And I'm like, and that's why Elon Musk was like ready to just, here, I can't do this. I understand, but you got to create injections. I don't mind putting them down, but you got to do it the right way. We can't torture these people, because at the end of the day, that's why my body was trying to eat me alive. It's not eating me alive. It was telling me, what if this was you? And when you saw that picture of I don't even want to post that picture of Elon Musk. What if it was you and this thing took over you? This is not who we are. We are better. So injections are not the first step, but creating like a potion that you put in the air to throw in their neighborhoods, gather them around, in you know, tell them to line up, take them to a certain place. That's what Houston does. They try to do it to me. They try to kill me in Houston because they didn't see a solution for me. So they tried to take me to this place where I started slowly losing breath. I couldn't breathe. I was like, I gotta go. I can't be here. I can't be here. I was like, nah, I gotta get out of here. I left. They let me leave. I kept making excuses. They were trying to give me housing, but really they were trying to kill me because they saw that there was no solution. I was building a tent outside. I was telling them this is a right. It's a human right to have tents outside. But people do a lot of crazy things. It's different when your tent is clean and organized because there are soldiers out there in those tents. Veterans. That's why I say don't violate if they're calm and quiet. But it's time to get out of the fucking tent. It's time, not the ones in the grass. They don't know where to go, so you can't tell them to get out of the tent. As long as they don't build it in front of the apartment, let them build it, somewhere else, like in Skid Row. That's what they did. You know what I did? I grabbed a stroller wagon and I slept in it. I spent $500 in that stroller wagon. And I slept at the corner of Santa Monica. I fought with the police for a while, but then I convinced them, hey, I have the right to be here like anybody else. I'm not sleeping on the sidewalk. I'm sleeping on my wagon. And they're like, all right, Sandra, we'll let you do that. And then they start allowing other homeless people to do it. It takes one voice to make a difference. One voice.